across America, incredibly talented artisans are making things the old-fashioned way, by hand. This special one-hour episode of Handcrafted America proves that the Western way is still alive and kicking. Our roundup starts in Arizona with that most essential of Western gear, the cowboy hat.
From the day I put it on my head, it fits me like a glove.
Then our trail heads north to Colorado, where a posse of belt buckle makers simply gives the cowboys what they ask for.
I noticed there's an Old West theme.
That's what people wanted.
That's just what they...
In Texas, a former shop teacher still spurs people along.
If we're going to continue the Western heritage, this is a part of it.
Who would have thought Los Angeles is where I'd find a country music-loving boot maker?
These boots are made for walking.
That's what they gotta do.
Over in Tennessee, this father-son duo has an impressive clientele.
We used to cover Waylon's guitars.
Waylon Jennings.
In California, a French cowboy's award-winning saddles require time and precision.
Takes about 300 hours.
300 hours.
Yeah, about.
Finally, in Texas Hill Country, one of the nation's top leather workers proves you don't have to be an oldie to be a goodie.
His carving is so immaculate.
This is the best of the West. Yippee-ki-yay, handcrafters. On this special episode of Handcrafted America, we're spending the hour with a breed of artisans who spend their lives, talents, and passion crafting products that commemorate and celebrate all things Western. Let's head them up, move them out. To Arizona, where I meet up with a maker of one of the most recognizable Western icons. That's right, the cowboy hat. Everywhere you look in Cave Creek, Arizona, cowboy country looks back. This place is every Western movie come to life. Horses have the right of way in traffic, the Pony Express rides through town, and there's even a rodeo. And if you're a cowboy, there's a shop here in Cave Creek that's the only place you're ever gonna wanna buy a hat.
Are these Watson hats?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you have any other hat?
No, ma'am.
Watson's hat shop owner, Eric Watson, fell in love with hats as a very young kid, thanks to a certain fedora-wearing archaeologist.
The Indiana Jones hat.
Oh, yes.
You know, every kid wanted one. I couldn't find a good hat, so I found old hats to restore. And it was a hobby, you know, even at that young of an age.
At 12, you were restoring hats?
Yeah. So.
I guess it pays to start off young. Eric's shop has become the place for any cowboy who wants the perfect custom hat.
From the day I put it on my head, it fits me like a glove.
So what are your hats made of?
We primarily focus on beaver fur felt.
Okay.
And that's the best. That's always been the best for
Why
hat
is
makers.
it the best?
Their fur is very lightweight and it's very strong, but also breathes because it's a natural fur. So it's just been #1 use for hat making since probably 250, almost 300 years ago.
Is it what the cowboys prefer?
It's what the cowboys prefer.
And that's all that matters. What are these called?
These are actually wood hat blocks. These particular ones that you have in your hand are approximately 80 years old.
80 years old? We're gonna make a hat today, and what is the first thing that we need to do?
We need to pick the raw blank.
The blank, what is a blank?
A blank is actually a raw piece of material that's kind of domed out. Just like an artist has to have a canvas, this is a hat maker's canvas. We're actually gonna pick one. We gotta go up the ladder
Up
here.
there?
Yep. We're gonna use this blocking table here. It's been fully restored. It's from 1920s.
Wow.
You're gonna stick the body upside down in the pot. You're gonna step on the foot pedal. Warm it up again. Now we're gonna pull this out. Now you can see the start of it.
Lovely, okay. After my hat blocking facial, Eric heads over to the iron to flatten the brim. He ties a rope around the base of the crown to ensure the perfect crease.
And at this point, it's ready for the crown iron.
No surprise, Eric's crown iron is another piece of beautiful vintage equipment. It's from the 1920s, it's fully restored, and it's just the right tool to make Eric's classic hats.
And this one is actually made for wider brimmed hats, specifically cowboy hats.
Okay.
So we're gonna stick the block on the end of it here, lift this up, clamp it on. This is extremely hot,
Okay.
so you can see how,
Oh yeah, I won't touch
yeah, it's really hot. So we actually turn this on, just release it. So you can actually see it starting to rotate. And then we're just gonna keep spraying it in increments. We're looking for the oils in the beaver fur to raise to the surface. We're gonna go in the pouncing room and refine the hat down, make a beautiful finish.
Awesome.
So we're gonna head in here. So, oh, but you can't come in here.
What? Why?
Well, nobody's allowed in here.
Is he joking?
In hat making, pouncing is sanding the material until it's shiny and smooth. It's often done with fine grit sandpaper. Of course, I can't speak to Eric's methods. I can, however, speak to his results. Wow.
It just has a nice smooth feel.
Next, Eric's cutting the brim. Then we'll give the crown that signature cowboy shape.
So this is actually an old wood hat block. It's a cattleman style hat block. Pull it out, lift it up right here. And this is a very common cowboy or cowgirl shape that's been used for 100 years, and they still want that shape still today.
The felt still needs to dry, so in order to retain the look, he puts a wedge in the cleft on the crown, and these cool earmuff-looking things on the sides. Letting it dry this way will permanently set the shape into the hat. When it comes to cowboy hats, the sweatband has to meet pretty specific requirements.
We'll use a 2-inch sweatband, which is commonly found in a Western hat, simply because these are utility type hats. So they have to last and hold up, and it helps protect against moisture and sweat.
Eric, I have to say this is quite the sweatband.
It's goat hide leather.
It's goat. Why do you use goat?
The biggest reason is moisture resistant to sweat. It's very durable, holds up, and it's soft.
First of all, let me talk about this machine.
Yeah, sure.
This is amazing.
This is actually made for hats.
How old is this?
1920s.
Oh, beautiful. It's incredible.
This stuff's rare. I can't even find another one like this. We fold this in, and then we'll lay that in there like that.
That is beautiful. Perfect.
It almost looks like a cowboy hat. It just needs that signature bend at the rim. We head back to the steam to soften the beaver fur, and Eric gently bends the rim by hand. Then he uses a piece of felt he cut off the brim earlier to make a hat band with a working buckle that can adjust the size of the hat to fit the wearer. Hat prices start at $400. His shop's signature hat is $5,000. That one has real diamonds in the hat band buckle set.
This cowboy hat's so authentic, I think I'm gonna have to get back on my horse and ride off into the sunset, huh? Can I call you Trigger? All right, come on, let's go. If you notice, I rode in on a horse in that story, but I walked out with one. It's because a good cowgirl knows how to play to her strengths, and riding horses is not one of my strengths, is it? As this belt buckle company knows all too well, crafting in the Western style can be a little freewheeling. And you're just kind of eyeballing that. How do you do that? When it comes to what cowboys wear, people tend to focus on hats and boots. But there's a lot of Western style to be had between the top of the hat and the tip of the boot. Our next artisans in Denver prove this point with their Western style belt buckles. The legends of the Wild West are as much a part of Denver, Colorado as the surrounding Rocky Mountains. So it makes sense that the Johnson & Held Belt Buckle Company, the premier Western-themed belt buckle makers, craft their one-of-a-kind products here. For 30 years, the craftsmen at Johnson & Held have each lent their particular skill to the process. Each posse member is critical. I'm starting out with master buckle craftsman Ted Alsop, who's going to show me how he starts one of their best-selling buckles called End of the Trail. The design is an homage to famous sculptor James Earl Fraser's piece of the same name. I noticed there's an Old West theme, a kind of a Native American thing within the belt buckles. Why did you go that route?
That's what people wanted.
That's just what people... Hey, that's a good reason, right?
Yeah.
How long you been doing this, Ted?
Oh, for around 30 years.
Using his saw, Ted cuts the center design out of a material called jeweler's bronze, which is very similar to brass. He applies beeswax along the way to make the saw easier to turn. Then he cuts the nickel outline. And that's some intricate handwork there, Ted. I'm moving on to the next posse member, Bob Pfeiffer. He's a nuts and bolts guy. He starts by welding the nickel design to another piece of nickel that becomes the backing plate. The welds have to be 1/4 inch apart all the way around the buckle. Then we move to a different machine that shapes the buckle.
This is the bender, and what we're going to be doing is taking this and put a curve in it for the buckle.
Okay.
And loud noises coming. And we have a curve.
Next, the prong and the loop are welded onto the back of the buckle. The brass piece that goes in the middle is also welded into place. Now it's on to design, a Johnson & Held specialty. So you're painting with stone, basically.
Yeah.
These are like little rows of turquoise.
They come in big blocks, and then we cut them into slabs
Okay.
and sticks.
And you're just putting a little bit of glue on that?
Just clip it, dip it, stick it in there.
Once the stones are in, Lyda locks them into place by pouring liquid plastic. Huh?
First, I put the tape on to make like a dam to hold the plastic in. And then I put my plastic and catalyst in to harden the plastic. And then I try to dribble a little in at first to let it seep in between the stones. And then we just fill it up to where it's high enough to cover everything. So when it's ground down, there's no low spots. And then I put it in the cabinet.
The cabinet is heated with a 200-watt light bulb. The plastic stays in overnight to harden. While we're waiting, I head over to Bronson Enrico. He does a different kind of buckle painting. Just glue and sand, that's it?
That's it.
He uses a regular piece of paper to press the sand tightly into the glue. He continues adding multiple layers of sand and colors until this will look like this. And no two are alike, which is why these buckles can command $200 to $300 per buckle. Our end of the trail belt buckle is done hardening. The plastic is removed at the grinder, using finer and finer grit sandpaper to reveal the turquoise pattern now locked in place. Finally, engraver Thomas Perez gives the buckle its own detail. Right here, you're making the feathers?
Right. And what I do is what I call a slide. You just go back and forth, like.
Oh, yeah. After the engraving, all that's left is a final buff. Here it is, End of the Trail with Moon. The Johnson & Held posse knows the secret to success. Each member carries their weight, plays to their strength, and above all, takes pride in creating a quality product. You think spurs are only used in movies? Well, think again. Like these beauties right here. They're considered tools of the trade to real working cowboys, and our next artisan has been making them for over 25 years. I'm in Llano, Texas, deep in the heart of cowboy country, where former high school shop teacher Charles Went started making spurs to keep the attention of his restless young ranch hands. Since then, he's become the man to see if you're in need of a set of spurs. Welcome to the Rockin' W. I'm gonna go make me some spurs.
All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a pattern. This represents our heel band and the rowel pin, which is the pin that holds the rowel in.
What's a rowel?
The rowel is the round part on the end of the spur that moves, yes.
What's the purpose of the turn?
The turn is so that it runs easy on the horse. When you spur the horse, you want the spur to roll. And you don't want it to cut, you don't want it to dig. Real spurs have a rowel that rolls.
So you freehand all this?
Just freehand all this. There's no right or wrong. There's no wrong answers in life, just ask questions.
I like that.
Charles takes the paper pattern and glues it to some copper scrap, then cuts it to make a template. He traces the shank pattern onto a piece of high carbon steel twice to make a matching set. He cuts it out on the bandsaw and then sands and shapes it.
All right, the next step that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our heel bands, and based on the measurement of your heel, you need a heel band that's gonna be about 7 1/4 inches long. So what we do is we take and we mark these at 7 1/4, and then we take them over to the bandsaw and we cut the ends off.
I'm good with a bandsaw.
Good. All right, turn this off.
Check it.
Now, my brand is Rocking W. R-O-C-K-I-N-G.
Rocking what?
W.
W.
Yeah, D-U-B-Y-W.
That's how we say it.
That's how you say it in Texas. So there's my rocker, and here goes my W. And I put my name in there. Would you like to do that?
Absolutely.
All right.
We stamped the heel band. You got a W on it.
You got a W on it.
As if it wasn't hot enough already in Texas, Charles fired up the old forge there, and we're gonna bend some steel. Can't wait. I got it.
All right.
Move out the way, Charles. Move out the way.
All right, come right over there.
Okay.
Slide it in right there. Pull this up to it.
Yep.
All right, pull that handle. Stop. And hold it right there for a minute.
I feel like Wonder Woman. I feel strong.
Now push all the way through.
Woo! Yeah, that's right. I bent this. Working with metal equals using the best tools, bandsaws and forges and metal bending. I have no idea which awesome tools we're gonna use next, but I'm certain they will involve sparks of flying.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Charles Went of Llano, Texas, and I are rocking and rolling on these cool cowboy spurs. We've cut and bent heel bands and made shanks.
All right, we're gonna make some staples to put in the heel band so that we can put our hangers on there, and that's how the spurs are gonna stay on the boot. All right, we're gonna use a settling torch. Are you proficient with that?
Yes.
Good, good. I like the other things. Okay, no problem.
You trust me, don't you?
I do. Pull down, pull down, pull down, pull down. Move the fire. Right there, pull down, keep going, keep going, keep going. Perfect. Well, you made this part right here. This is the staple.
Oh, right there.
Just
I
like
made that.
Made that. Next, we're gonna make a hanger. That's this part right here.
Charles takes 2 more pieces of flat carbon steel, puts them in a vise, and hammers them over. Then he adds a jig to the vise and hammers it again.
When I took it out, you'll notice that we've created a hump,
Yeah.
and that hump is very important. That's what makes it work on the spur. We'll put this back
If I
in
get
here,
this wrong.
and your spur won't jingle jangle.
Oh, my spur's got a jingle jangle.
Keep going. Hit it a lot. Come on, more.
Charles squeezes the hanger and locks in the staple.
All right, now we're gonna make the rowel that goes out here on the end of the spur. And what we have is we have a disc that has red dye on it so the old guys can see the lines. And we take our scribe and we mark our rowel.
To make the 6-point rowel, Charles uses a jeweler's saw and hand cuts 6 notches into the steel.
There's 1 down and 5 to go.
How long will it take me?
Forever, maybe longer.
Next, Charles uses a chisel to make notches on the rowels.
And usually the way you can tell a handmade rowel from a commercial rowel is a handmade rowel are not stamped out. They are sawed out, and they're very square and they're very chunky.
He cuts the notches with a grinder and then sands and polishes it using a peg vise.
Okay, now that we've got the notch cut in there, we'll take and see if our rowel fits. Put a rowel pin, and looks pretty good.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Spins perfectly.
For this pair of basic spurs, a cowboy pays around $300 to $350. Of course, the price goes up for more detailed embellishments. And Charles is about to turn my spurs into real showstoppers.
HCA, Handcrafted America. That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
The letters are made of silver, which Charles solders onto the curve of the heel band using the heating and cooling process called annealing.
How important is it to you that you keep this trade alive?
If we're going to continue the Western heritage, we're going to continue with the Western lifestyle. This is a part of it. And we need to be able to have people that can make these spurs and provide for these cowboys.
Handcrafted America spurs. One of a kind.
Okay, I got my handcrafted spurs. Now I just need to go find a pair of boots to hang them on. Custom bootmaker Michael Wayne Brooks isn't your typical cowboy, but he is really passionate about keeping one of the Old West traditions alive. And everybody needs a good pair of boots in their closet. Raised in Oklahoma, Michael was not your typical teenager growing up.
I was fascinated with 40s and 50s style country music and fashion.
Like the whole rockabilly thing?
Yeah, I was in a rockabilly band with my brother where I sang, but when we performed, we liked to dress like the guys did in the 1950s. I wanted to look like my heroes. That's actually how I got into bootmaking, because I could never find the boots like they wore back in the 1950s. Like the really ornate, the kind of stuff like Gene Autry would have worn, or Hank Williams Sr. At the time, I didn't even know people made custom cowboy boots. As soon as I discovered it, I knew I had to be a part of it.
Without a penny to his name, Michael slept in his car just so he could attend bootmaking school and pursue his passion. Soon, that led to an apprenticeship with world-famous bootmaker Paul Bond.
He was a bootmaking legend. Everybody who's a bootmaker today loved Paul Bond. They all studied his boots, drooled over the pictures in his catalogs. And so I draw a lot of inspiration off of his style.
I want my own pair of boots.
Well, let's get you measured. This is so that we can get you a custom last. And the
last?
Yeah.
L-A-S-T-S?
L-A-S, just L-A-S-T, last.
A last.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the last is basically what gives the boot its shape, this part right here.
So everybody has their own last.
That's right, everyone has their own last. That's one of the perks of having custom boots, is they're gonna fit really well.
I'm gonna have to be patient to wait for my handmade pair of boots. Michael's wait list is about a year, and the prices start around $2,000.
The last is really the most important part, because if we get this wrong, then everything that we've done is in vain. I have all my last custom made.
This is where like shoemaking starts. The block goes in here, and it also has a lot of adjustments, very fine-tuning adjustments. And at the end result, we have a last.
Well, I'm excited to see how this thing works. Can you fire it up for me?
Fire up, yes.
This is no ordinary last machine. It's 100 years old, and there's only a handful left in the world. And this is the only one that's operational in the US.
Each last is a fingerprint or snowflake that is very unique to the person's feet. When we do the final adjustments, inch by inch or millimeter by millimeter, it's almost a piece of art that we end up making.
So we have the last. So where do we go from here? Michael shows me exactly how precise his craft has to be.
This is one of the hardest parts of bootmaking. I know bootmakers that have been doing this for 30 years and they still don't have this down real well.
Michael traces his customer's foot shape, he gives the measurements to Salvador to make the last, which is used to create the shape of the boot. Meanwhile, he starts working on the boot's top pieces.
This is my favorite part of boot making. I love the fancy, ornate stuff. This is called inlay, and let me show you how we get the design. This is just a stitch pattern, so I folded it in half like this, and I just drew it by hand. And then what I do after that is I take the sewing machine without thread and I stitch. And then when I open it up like this, I can lay it down on the leather.
Before we go any further, we have to cut the leather slab into a boot shape. Michael carefully cuts around the chosen pattern. Now I see the boot, so it looks like we're ready to create the design. But you won't believe what Michael uses for that process.
I take baby powder and I rub it like this. It goes through here, it leaves the little dots. After you're done with your first row of stitches, you just wipe it off. And
it keeps your feet smelling good.
This right here is where you get to show how precise you are as an artisan.
This is one of the hardest parts of boot making. I know boot makers that have been doing this for 30 years and they still don't have this down real well.
Well, it looks like you do. Using his trusted sewing machine, it can take Michael over 40 hours to do his precise top stitching and inlay work alone. Once he's done with the inlay, Michael puts it all together, adds the heels, and the boots are complete.
I'm gonna keep doing boots the way that I want to do them and the kind of boots that I want to make.
Michael can look at someone and he can gauge by their personality and by their personal style what suits them the best. He knows what'll be a nice boot for them. And that's what truly makes a custom boot maker.
Michael, thanks for letting me hang out with you here today.
No, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
But these boots are made for walking, all right?
Well, that's what they gotta do.
A working cowboy has his essential tools, like the boots we just saw, a hat, or even spurs. But a cowboy isn't the only one with a dress code. Horses have uniforms too. Marysville, California used to be a gold rush town. Today, it's home to a different treasure, the Pedrini Saddle Company. On the outskirts of town, Pedro Pedrini is the ultimate cowboy living the Western life. But there's a twist. He's French.
How does a Frenchman by the name of Pedro end up making Western saddles in the United States?
I was about 8 years old when I first rode a horse. A friend of mine introduced the horse to me, and that was instant love. I mean, that was it.
Pedro came to America 40 years ago. He made his first saddle when he was 20 and has since made more than 1,000 of them.
This saddle here takes about 300 hours.
300 hours?
Yeah, about. It's entirely hand-stitched, 8 stitch an inch, which is fairly small. It's a very special saddle.
A basic Western saddle is made of many parts. The main ones are the horn, seat, cantle, fenders, skirt, and stirrups.
The main idea is to fit the horse and the rider and what they're gonna do with that saddle. Function is number one. If a saddle doesn't work, that's like having a fancy car and no motor in it.
After Pedro creates a sketch, he orders a wood saddle tree made specifically to match the size of a particular horse. The tree serves as the frame of the saddle. Pedro starts with cowhide from a tannery in St. Louis, Missouri. He creates a new set of cardboard patterns made just for that saddle and begins to cut the pieces he needs.
You're gonna trace your fender, cut a little wider, yeah.
I'm a dangerous woman. Dangerous woman!
Now it's time to begin adding the leather pieces to the saddle tree.
Jill, we need a piece of leather right there to reconnect this and smooth out those edges.
Like this piece of leather?
Exactly right.
Okay.
So trace around in this area where you're gonna glue it, then we can go on. Very good.
Woo! That glue is strong.
We try to improve the imperfection of the tree.
It takes Pedro countless hours to put more than 50 pieces of leather together. He painstakingly glues each piece and then has to skive or thin down the edges of the leather depending on the thickness he needs.
See, this is a high spot, this is very high spot, and we try to blend all that stuff down.
Pedro repeats the process until the tree is covered with leather. Then he starts carving intricate designs into the pieces that serve as the top layer on the saddle.
The next step is to cut it with a tool called a swivel knife. Okay, so this finger push down, and this one give you the direction, kinda, and you keep on go cutting all those lines.
After cutting the design into the leather, he begins using a maul hammer and pear shader to create relief and shading on the piece.
And you hit it deep and finish very light. So you have to angle that tool and you see what I mean? And put some shade.
Once the seat is finished, all of the other parts are carefully sewn on.
This piece needs to be sewed up to the skirt. This is the sewing machine who's gonna do it.
He hand stitches everything with beeswax covered string. Because the string is sticky, it won't loosen with wear.
So you hold that little wheel and it marks the holes so they're all even. And then you can just put your blade, your R blade, right there on that mark.
The price of one of his most basic handcrafted saddles is $4,500. When the saddle is completely built, Pedro rubs the leather with olive oil. The process nourishes the material, turning the bleached out leather into a rich, dark brown. Then he applies a water-based finish to make it shine. Now that I've spent the day working with Pedro, I'm absolutely inspired by his dedication to excellence and his commitment to functional beauty.
Pedro is living his version of the American cowboy dream with every stitch he sews on those saddles. Down in Tennessee, this father-son duo knows it doesn't matter how good a product looks if it doesn't get the job done.
No matter how pretty it is, function comes first.
Every piece of gear a cowboy has serves a purpose. Hats are an umbrella. Spurs talk to a horse. Leather chinks protect the animal from chafing against a cowboy's jeans. And I know 2 Tennessee leathersmiths crafting some of the most popular leather chinks this side of the Mississippi.
In a small garage just outside of Nashville in Franklin, Tennessee, father and son team Terry and Austin Lankford have built a big reputation for their custom-made leather pieces. Local working cowboys come to Terry and Austin for more fundamental fare. Their hand-tooled short chaps, known as leather chinks, are a particular favorite because they make a cowboy's job easier.
They use them a lot when you're working around livestock, use them around barns, when you're checking fences, you don't get them caught in stuff, and it's cooler in the summer.
So Terry, tell me about the ones we're gonna be making for me today.
We're gonna soup them up.
We're gonna soup 'em up.
Make them really girly, nice.
I like that, a little flashy. Can we add some fringe on them?
Yeah, lots of fringe.
Just right up my alley. I love me some fringe. Cool.
Function is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how pretty it is, function comes first.
So how many different types of leather do you use for one pair of chinks?
Well, in this case, we're going to use 2. This is a softer leather that we use for the body of the chaps.
Nice.
Whereas the tooling leather for the part around the top is not going to be as flexible.
All right, it's time to cut some leather.
Austin cuts the first leg and then flips the leather over to make a mirror image for the second leg.
Voila.
After we cut the second leg, it's time to start embellishing.
We want a little scalloped yoke to cover our buckles up.
Okay.
So normally you'll just do that.
You just drew that freehanded. There's no, no pattern?
If you had patterns, you'd have 100 patterns and you'd spend more time looking through them than you would actually doing it, so you just do it.
Austin steps in to make the buckles, which are glued on and covered with the free-handed scallops. Next, it's all sewn down for reinforcement. With over 40 years in the business, Terry has honed his craft to perfection.
Where'd you learn how to sew like that?
Making dresses.
You did not.
You're right.
A head knife is used to cut the stiffer tooling cowhide that will adorn the chinks.
Just kind of lean on it, it'll roll right out there.
You gotta put some muscle into that.
Yeah.
The sheer volume of tools speak to Terry and Austin's commitment to detail, functionality, and of course, durability.
We think 20 years. Every time we do something, we think, if this won't last 20 years, we're gonna do it a different way. When you do it like that, you end up with something that will last a while.
Terry uses a stamp to create a flower pattern on the leather. After tooling is complete, Terry applies a light stain to the leather. It adds dimension, highlights the shadows, and makes the design pop. Terry sews the tooled pieces onto the legs of the leather chinks.
How much would these chinks cost? Which would you sell these for?
A little over 400.
400? What's the most satisfying part about this process for you?
Seeing them 10 years from now when people have been using them the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna cut you some fringe.
Okay.
And it's all you do is just put the knife in and drag it to you. Just straight to you.
I made a fringe! Terry, bring them on in.
Here we go,
Look
young
at
lady.
these. So pretty. Oh my gosh, these are beautiful. I feel like a real cowgirl.
Yeah, look like one.
How do I look?
You look like one.
I love them. They're beautiful. Thanks, guys. You did excellent. This is exquisite work.
Plenty of fringe.
He's young, talented, and Texan, and he has an amazing gift.
He was always doing something with the leather work. I mean, riding in a car, the pickup, or when we'd get in later that evening, he'd be fooling with leather stuff.
There's a reason why they say practice makes perfect.
I gotta say, I've always had a thing for real cowboys, and lucky me, because we are in the heart of cowboy country. This is Texas Hill Country. You smell that? It smells like leather.
A little over a couple of hours west of San Antonio is Rock Springs, Texas. In this little town of just over 1,000, there's one man who has mastered the leather craft. The work is so incredible, you'd think this artisan has been perfecting his craft for over 50 years. But you'd be wrong. He's just 24.
I'm the 5th generation to ranch out here, and we run mainly black-hided cattle, and then we run Angora goats, which produce mohair, and also boar goats, which are sold as a meat-type goat.
So, how did you go from working on the ranch to working with leather?
It's all kind of part of the Western culture and Western lifestyle. I'm really fond of keeping the heritage and the traditions alive.
What kind of things do you make?
We make saddles, belts, wallets, purses, luggage, leggings, just about anything you can come up with.
You had me at purses.
The shop's kind of fun. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff going on, but I'm really anxious to get you in there and
put me to work.
Put you to work, exactly. Free labor, especially out-of-town labor. You don't know what to expect.
No, right? You're gonna have me doing all the bad
That's right,
jobs.
rubbing edges.
Oh, the rubbing edges.
Rubbing edges.
That does not sound fun.
It's not, but it's part of the process.
Any kind of leather work you get nowadays is machined. Once you see handwork and you can compare it with machine work, I mean, there's like night and day.
This is kind of where I spend all my time here, it seems like.
Obviously, you start out with a roll of leather like this. What is the next step?
So the next step is going to be deciding on what you're making. So just for an idea, we'll say a wallet. We're going to cut it as close to the line as you can.
And don't cut my fingers off.
Don't cut your finger
Okay.
off. There you go.
This is why I
Yeah,
went to kindergarten.
time is money. Yep.
Are you rushing me?
And we're going to go over, we're going to stamp and or carve it, tool it.
Okay.
His engraving, his carving is so immaculate.
The attention to detail that someone building it by hand can make. You're not going to have a machine notice the quality. It's by eye and by feel every time. We're going to take it over to the stitcher. We're going to stitch it.
That was very cool. And I've been meaning to ask you, I keep seeing this old saddle. I mean, how old is that saddle?
That saddle was made around 1900, and that was my great-great-granddad's saddle.
Oh my gosh, it's family.
It's family. The last and most important step in my mind is the finish work. We're gonna take this canvas rag here and we're gonna rub these edges. So it's gonna take that raw, unfinished edge and make it nice and smooth.
And you have to do this with
everything. This is
everything?
my least favorite part of the process, but this is honestly one of the most important step in the process. And so now we would just go ahead and we would dye these edges to give them a nice, clean, finished look.
This is mine?
It's all yours.
Look, and I helped.
It's really whatever the customer wants. We do inlays with alligator and exotic hide. Whatever kind of design or colors, we can paint the leather.
He knows that the way that he connects something will rub less on the horse, or the way that he stitches a certain way is going to benefit the person who's using the product.
Well, I have one little surprise for you.
Oh, yeah?
When I found out I was going to be talking to you, I went and bought myself a little tooling kit because I wanted to see how hard it was. And okay, it ain't that pretty, but it comes from the heart, and it's my first little attempt at a flower.
Thank you very, very much.
You are so welcome.
I appreciate you doing that. That means a lot.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's about, right?
That's it, handmade. The quality is in the imperfections, I guess, right?
Well, I got a lot of quality in there.
For some, the Wild West is an idea. It's a symbol of a different time when good triumphed over evil and high noon was a dangerous time to be in the center of town. The West isn't just a region of the country. It's a state of mind, a lifestyle, a lasting reminder of the American spirit. And the artisans we met in this episode continue that legacy. And I want to thank you for watching this special Western version of Handcrafted America. Happy trails. Oh, it's not going. Oh, she's biting me. Oh, God!
And then we gotta go up the ladder
Up
here.
there?
Yep.
I'm afraid of heights. Is there a shortcut for this? Oh, there is. Get somebody else to do it. I'm just kidding. Does anybody care that my saw is stuck? Nobody cares. I'm afraid to get I'm gonna get my hands burned.
Hit it again.
Bob, tell your cat to quit looking at me. It's making me nervous.
Okay, there.